Alright, hello everybody, welcome to our next lesson here. This is the Cold War and Brinkmanship. This is for our unit, or the unit, the Cold War. So our objectives and standards: to analyze the presidential election of 1952 and to explain the policy of brinkmanship. And take a moment there to read over the standards if you would, please. Okay, and our desired result. How did the policy of brinkmanship affect the United States? Building the bomb. The race for nuclear arms began with Truman. You can see his picture there. The Soviet Union development of an atomic bomb forced President Truman to take a terrible position. He wanted to develop an even deadlier weapon. Scientists who developed the atomic bomb got to work on another. And the weapon they come up with is the hydrogen bomb, or the H-bomb, more commonly known as. And it is 67 times more powerful than the bomb dropped during the Second World War, which is pretty incredible. The scientists actually even warned against the creation of the hydrogen bomb. But against warnings, both Americans and Soviets raced to develop the weapon first. And in 1952, America will be the first one to detonate the first H-bomb. But however, a year later, the Soviets will test their first H-bomb. And here's a picture of what the H-bomb does. Again, pretty terrifying, more deadlier than the atomic bomb, 67 times more powerful than the atomic bomb. And both countries, both the Americans and the Soviets, are going to, threaten to use this against each other or each other's allies to, test their strength and their, willingness to go to war. The election in 1952. Now, President Truman decided not to run again for president. Democrats are going to nominate that gentleman's picture right there, the governor of Illinois, Adlai Stevenson. He was very smart and an excellent speaker. Excuse me. Republicans are going to nominate the popular war hero and general from World War II, Dwight D. Eisenhower. His picture is over here on the right-hand side. So here's a map of the election results of the election in 1952. You can see Stevenson in blue and Eisenhower in red. So obviously you can see there that Eisenhower pretty much won the election pretty overwhelmingly for the most part. Stevenson carried a lot of the southern states and Kentucky and West Virginia, but overall Eisenhower pretty much swept the country. Again, he was a popular war hero. People knew he was very well known. He was very well liked. And again, being in the Cold War, many people wanted someone with a strong military background, perhaps, in case there was a war or a problem. So many people were also looking for someone who maybe had a military background in terms of choosing a president. Again, not sure if Stevenson's a military background, perhaps, but Eisenhower being a general and more well-known and things like that definitely helped him. Brinkmanship. This policy was put into place under President Eisenhower. Secretary of State John Foster Dulles, whose picture you can see there, was a strong anti-communist. He proposed using all military forces, including nuclear bombs, against any aggressive nation. He proposed using all military forces, including nuclear bombs, against any aggressive nation. Sorry about that. The idea that the U.S. could go to all-out war at any moment became known as brinkmanship. So the policy. The military in the U.S. reduced the size of the Army and the Navy and increased the size of the Air Force. Well, why would we increase the size of the Air Force? Well, the answer is the Air Force would be the branch to use the bombs or drop the H-bomb or an atomic bomb. So that's why the military focused more on the Air Force. And the Soviet Union also did the same. The Soviet Union also increased their Air Force because they needed an Air Force to drop a potential deadly weapon. So Americans and Soviets are going to live under this threat of nuclear attack constantly. And we'll talk more in live class this week about what that meant for Americans in terms of, duck and cover and bomb shelters and things like that. So if those are the things that interest you, please come to class on today, Tuesday, March 6th. And if not, please watch if you were unable to attend class, watch the recording, because we'll be talking about a lot of those things, how Americans were preparing for brinkmanship and almost all-out war. Alright, so I hope you have a great rest of your day or evening. Again, hope to see you in live class. If not, I'll talk to you soon. Take care. All right, so our closure. How did the policy of brinkmanship affect the United States? Think about some of the events leading up to the policy of brinkmanship. Think about how this policy impacted the United States and also affected Americans as well. That'll help you answer your questions. Please try your best on the questions that follow and let me know if you have any questions or concerns. And I hope you have a great rest of your day or night, and I hope to talk to you all soon. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.